How's it going, everyone? Minuteman Hunter here, just coming at you with another video. First off, I want to say it's the Sunday, the final day of March. So make sure you take advantage of any Coral Pukes that that are still around, because I definitely recommend making this helmet. Reason I'm making this video is because I want to talk about armors, right? What armors are best? Now, one of the reasons I love this Puke helmet is because it comes with weakness exploit, right? At grade 6, you get lock on. And it's also the first armor that once you upgrade it to grade 8, it comes with an additional 6 skill with his weakness exploit level 2. Now, as you know, when you do affinity damage, you're essentially doing extra damage to a monster. So what that does is, if your weapon has 0% affinity, weakness exploit level 1 will give you a 20% chance when you're hitting that weak spot to hit the crit spot. For most monsters, is their heads, but I definitely recommend looking online or in one of my previous videos to see which parts of the monster are crit parts, right? And I should probably make a full video detailing which parts of the monsters are crit parts. But usually it does, for most of the monsters, 90% of the time it ends up being the head. But which armors are the best? For case in point. Now, it depends on what your weapons are, right? Because to me, there are obviously some armor pieces that are more useful than most. Personally speaking, I'm a close range person. I'm not a long distance person. So your armor pieces would be different based on your weapon type, right? So we're gonna start off with my water set per se. My loadout 3 water set. Since I have Duratodos, gloves, and Jagras legs, already gives me water attack +4. Now, Black Diablos recently came out with the first lock-on waist and heroics, so I'm using that for my lock-on. I'm using the Duratodos chest piece for the extra water that also comes with an additional last stand. And I'm using the Black Diablos helmet for part breaker. Now, what I want to recommend is not the water set per se, but making every single piece in this game that comes with lock on. So if you have that, if you're new to Monster Hunter, you might be having a hard time making Coral Puke. The first thing I did make was the Kulayaku helmet. It comes with lock on. You want to make the Black Diablos waist. It's a subspecies, so obviously might not be easily accessible at first, but that lock on waist definitely comes in handy. And another important piece, Raytheon gloves. Also, not just also lock on, but comes with burst level 2. Burst is really great for when you're using those brute strength weapons, right? It's an easy, once you're doing consecutive hits, is an easy attack and yeah, just attack power up by a percentage. It's one of the best boosts in the game, in my opinion, especially if you can max it out. Those pieces make it easily accessible for you to attack the crit parts on certain monsters or the weakness spots that would normally be inaccessible. That's important because monsters, they take more damage when you hit certain parts, right? It's very useful to look at when you're looking at your monster guide. You'll see some breakable parts. It tells you what the breakable parts are, as well as other useful information, as well as how the monster fights and what parts they drop at certain levels, right? The breakable parts are normally start off where the crit spots are, even though that's not always guaranteed. And while I'm here talking about my water cell, let me fight this engine out. Now, his crit spot is not his leg, even though it's a breakable part. His crit spot, or his weakness spots, are really his tail and his head. You can see the way the numbers glows. Ooh, I guess I will heal for this. Dodged incorrectly. Normally taking one hit will not mess me up. Yeah. Now, normally this is where I would say get the face to get extra damage, but his face is also kind of dangerous, especially when you're using dual blades, because that's what he attacks with the most. Yeah. But you can see certain highlights. When you're fighting the monsters and you're hitting their weak spot, like for him it's the face and the tail, the numbers are, they just glow a little bit more than they normally would, right? More yellowy. So if you're having a hard time identifying a monster's weak spot, that's how you would normally do it. Right? So certain armor pieces like lock-on are very essential for attacking those certain parts. Personally speaking, my Anjanath method is I would attack the leg, break the leg, and then aim for the tail, because on the 8-star version or higher, or triple purple, however you guys are calling it, you know, breaking the tail gives you a 5% chance of getting the Wyvern gem versus a 2% chance of getting it in the regular boxable pieces. Oh, excuse my messages. But to make a long story short, you know, I would definitely recommend aiming for the lock-on pieces first. And as you get into higher levels, you want to start focusing on elemental pieces, especially if you're a close range user. If you're a bow user, you can get away with not using a lot of elemental pieces and going for more like focus to increase your charge rate, to decrease your charge time so you can shoot more. But if you're a close range user, you know, I definitely say get the lock-on pieces, then get the elemental pieces. Also, key point, if you're a bow, you don't need lock-on. All right, so if you're a bow user, you can go straight for focus and then elements, mix and match those sets up, see what works best for you. And so again, with my water set, you'll see how the breakdown is, because it's a little different than what I used to have, but it's not that much different. You'll see lock-on, and the most important pieces here are water attack. Then after that, you have part breaker, which comes from the Black Diablo's helmet. Last stand isn't too bad. It's just extra defense as your health drops. Heroics is similar to last stand, but it's just more attack as your health drops. Resentment is kind of cool too, right? But most important sets things are the element and the lock-on, right? And if I go back, my paralysis set is just really for fun. I don't use it that much, but it has lock-on too. And as you can see, I switched to the Coral Puke helmet. Now that we have status sneak attack, I could update this, but I haven't been really focused on that because your boy's a little broke right now. Updated Thunder set, as you can see, I made the TZ cool helmet to replace with the Zinogre gloves, and then I put on the lock-on Raytheon Greave so I can have burst with max Thunder set. So now I have Thunder Attack 5, Evade Extender, Burst, and Special Boost with Artful Dodger and Lock-on. The Dragon Attack is just coming from the Special Boost Raytheon legs that I put on, because I do love having Special Boost. It's level 2 is an extra 15% damage on your special skill, so that really comes in handy. But I'm sure, you know, it's okay to mix and match up with other things that you might find useful. That's not really mandatory. The most important things here are Thunder Attack, Burst, and Lock-on, right? Also, for those of you, you could keep the Zinogre gloves instead of the TZ cool helmet, and you would lose Evade Extender, but you would still have Thunder Attack. And if you put on the Coral Puke helmet, instead of Burst, you'll now have Weakness Exploit. So that's also a good alteration that you can use, and you'll still have Thunder Attack max +5 with Weakness Exploit, so you can get those crit damages. So there's a lot of ways you can mix and match your sets now, and you can see what works best for you. Now, I didn't want to make Anjanath Dual Blades because I've already invested so much in my Anjanath Sword and Shield. So my armor set for Sword and Shield is still the same. You know, the Azor Rathlos for fire attack, to increase my flexibility, and Janath gloves, and Janath helmet. That's all my fire attack. Black Diablos for lock on again, and then I threw on the pink Raytheon again for special boost. Isn't mandatory, no, but that's a bit more flexible. You can do what you want with that, right? I'm sure there's other pieces that just came out that we could, you know, have fun with, like if you're down for evasive concentration. Deviljho is also pretty good with guts and latent power, and I believe double guts is nice. Guts is pretty good. You know, if you're taking a really big hit, you survive. So, yeah, there's that. So definitely, like, that's a flexible piece. You can also get burst on the legs if you want to put on as an ogre piece, but I'm gonna stick with my special boost because just the 15% extra damage when I do my special. And then we already talked about water, so I'll skip that. Ice. As you can see, a lot of my sets are similar. The only really big differences is when I'm gunning for the ice attack. So I'm using the Coral Puke helmet for this for weakness exploit, because I'm getting my ice attack from the Barioth chest, the Barioth gloves, which gives you 2 ice, so that's 3 ice right there, and the Legiana waist, which another 2 ice attacks, so that's 5. And then I threw on my generic Raytheon special boost. And then the weapons, what I haven't talked about is the weapon skills. So all these extra skills, like you see Divine Blessing, that's coming from the weapon, right? So that's my ice attack up. I did get the Barioth dual blades. While it's not as high as an ogre, I could bring them to grade 8, but I'm just gonna leave it until the winter time. And then I would get a Veda extender instead of Divine Blessing, which would, when I'm using my dual blades, make me move a little farther. So let me clarify and say exactly what that is. Yeah, extends distance. So, you know, whenever you're doing an attack that moves out, not an attack, a move or a skill that moves out the way, whether it's just an attack or not, you know, this will increase your distance. So really useful on the dual blade front. The reason is Legiana has a lot more element. You see it's already at 1300, so that's why I'm going to keep certain weapons. Certain weapons have higher element than they do attack, and I would significantly prefer the elemental piece. And then even for my test armor set, I want to make a brute strength armor set. It's going to have max special boost, and it has level 3 burst already. So you can see, and it's going to involve the Odogaron, because the Odogaron will come with, I believe, 20% at max. Yeah, 20%. Right now it's just at 10, which isn't bad. Right? So I'm going to be able to, when I use this set, I'm going to have burst level 3, which will give me a 15% boost, and the special I believe is 30% whenever I do my special, so that'll be cool. And my favorite, lock on. Last but not least, work in progress, Deviljho Dragon set. Alright, now I do have what, Dragon Attack level 2 I believe. Yeah, so I have to make some Deviljho pieces to finish this, and here I'm going to go through how I'm going to do it when I get the chance. So, Deviljho helmet comes with Dragon Attack and Slugger. Kind of want to shy away from that because I can't use Slugger since I'm not using the Deviljho Sword and Shield, I'm using the dual blades. This comes with Dragon Attack, so the chest piece would be nice. Not the chest piece, this is arms. Arm piece would be nice, but then I'd lose the Raytheon. But that's not bad, so that's Dragon Attack plus 3. I already have the pink Raytheon chest piece with Dragon Attack anyway. So that's not bad. I should really double check to make sure. I don't think anything else comes with Dragon Attack. Yes. Nothing else comes with Dragon Attack. So back to Deviljho. So I have the pink Raytheon legs and chest with Dragon Attack. And then the Deviljho waist comes with Dragon Attack. So I get Dragon Attack plus 2 for bringing it to 6. So I'm making the Deviljho waist, right? And I'm going to make the Deviljho arms. And then that's where I'll get my 5 Dragon Attack. And then I'll put in the Coral Puke helmet. So then my skills will be, not burst, because I will lose burst and part breaker. But my skills will be special boost level 2, Dragon Attack 5, lock on, and weakness exploit. And weakness exploit level 2 when I get the Crow Puke Puke to grade 6. And then I'm still actually going to have burst because the Devil Joe Dual Blades come with burst at grade 8. So there will be that. Now I know what you're thinking. Affinity negative 30%. Now negative affinity means that whenever you do a critical hit, you're actually going to do less damage than normal on that when that happens. But with weakness exploit being at 25% after I get it to level 2, this is going to bring that down to a negative 5% chance for you to do that hit, and then you'll just have the Devil Joe raw damage. Right, it's gonna essentially offset it, which is what I will take, and then my dragon element will boost my will be boosted by plus 500. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but dragon element is pretty strong in this game. So not only that, I'll be getting 2 levels of burst to increase my attack even more. So I do think overall the Devil Joe set is worth it, and it's something that we should you know, we should give a chance, at least the Devil Joe Dragon combination. But in any event, that's how I will complete my dragon gear. And I will join the archers in having a dragon element. Now Palomu, his weakness is his face. So I'm going to use that lock on to aim for that weak spot so I don't have to struggle too much, because it will be very hard for your hunter to aim up otherwise without lock on. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to make it clear cut on why certain armor skills are important. If you guys have been going in-depth into the game, you would probably already understand. So I really wanted to explain the decisions between my chosen armor skills. You know, because and what they do for me. I'm sure there's going to be nice alterations. Like if you're a bow user, you're probably never going to take off the Azor Rathalos helmet, because that'll come with focus level 2 at 6, and then having a combination of focus. Oh, getting a phone call. Oh, anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Everyone have a good day and happy hunting.